Here we go. We got a roll cage. I don't know if you can see back in there. I already stood one of the uprights, the halo piece that goes up. Got that set in place. This is one of the Injuku Racing ER spec kits. It's an older one. I guess somebody had it. It's supposed to be a reputable guy, so I got it from him. We're going to try and see if it'll be the kit we need. Got the 2J out, ready to roll. Need to clean it up, got to get this car out of here. So, a few things we're working on. Still got to do some stuff at a rental. But just little by little we're moving forward. The suspension is ordered for the S14. When it gets here, I'm not sure. Everything's behind right now. It is paid for, it's ordered. Still debating on what to do with steering angle. Yeah, so we're kind of making headway. Got to deal with the rental, like I said. Got to go out there and check that. I'll try to get some footage of that. We've already actually been out there and cleaned on it a little bit outside. The outside actually looks way better than what it did. We cut the grass. I may put in a few just photos of it. I did take some photos, and I'll get those, and then I'll actually go get some video footage, some of the stuff we've already done, and you can get a better glimpse at what it is now. So I had to go to court. I ended up being sick this Friday. I was supposed to went to court again. My lawyer went, and she I guess they didn't move forward from there, but the lady's already been evicted and she's moved out. So now this is for judgment to possibly get some money after the fact. I don't know. We'll see. But so yeah, that's where I'm at with the one that we're working on. Finally got her out and trying to get a judgment now. We'll get some footage of that. So the S14. Got the roll cage stuff. I'm talking with some guys about getting the roll cage put in. It's supposed to be pretty good. They've done some other stuff for me. Work looked good, so we're gonna make a go of it. And then we'll see about under the engine bay and stuff. But all right, either way, here we go.
Style is the answer to everything. Style is what I call art.
Tell by now, the KA is pulled out of the S14, and sitting in front of me as we speak is a 1JZ GTE vvti out of the Toyota Crown Element or Crown, Toyota Crown something. But yeah, single turbo. I think they're like 280 horse factory. That's all I'm going to do is just put the ECU, the factory ECU, and the wiring harness in this one. Later I might do something, but I don't see it right now because I still have that project going on. So I'm not going to buy a harness from Wiring Specialties with the adapter or any of that stuff. We'll probably just roll with what we got, and yeah, for now anyway. So all right, here we go. Okay, so I'm taking the factory 1JZ mounts off and putting the S chassis swap mounts, the Max Peating ones, were the ones I bought for that originally. I'm going to use them on the S14 because I think they'll fit either one. All right, so the motor mounts themselves, I had to take off the oil filter housing and the coolant lines that go to the oil filter housing and all that to change the mount. And on this side, it appears I'm going to have to take the whole turbo assembly off to get to the mount bolts. So keep that in mind. I may be wrong for thinking that, but I think I do. I'm going to check a little further before I take everything off, but I think I have to take it all off to put that mount on this side. As clean as this motor is, I'm not going to change any seals or anything. I'm going to run it, see what we get, and we'll go from there. Usually I'll do valve covers and all that, but I'm just not going to on this one. I'm just going to put it in and go with it, get this car back on the road so I can have a drift car, and then that'll allow me to keep going with that and still have a drift car. And so I don't want it to turn into a project like that one, and so that way I can get it back together and run it, and when this one gets done I can come back to this one and play. If it leaks oil, who cares? Smokes a little bit, who cares? I can drive it, and then if I get this one on the road, I can always take this one apart and fold it and change seals and blah blah blah. But all right, here we go. So the 1JZ is sitting in the car. So I think where I'm going to kind of start is going to be the fuel lines before I end up putting the transmission in, because everything else I should be able to get to with it in the car. The fuel lines coming from the passenger side end up having to go over to the driver's side. And so I think before I put the transmission in, I can kind of tilt the motor forwards and go around up on the firewall and kind of drop down to get on this side. I think that's going to be the best bet. So I think I'm going to work on it while I have the room before I start putting all the turbo components and getting all the wires tied in and the plumbing for the power steering before I get all that hooked up. So I think that's going to be my starting point, because I'm going to hook the heater core up, and that'll be the two lines hooked up in the back and all that stuff. So I'll try to film what I can But it's one of those where I'm gonna try to go this weekend, but I don't think I will. I think I'm actually missing the mass airflow. I think that's an issue. So I'm gonna probably end up having to order that. I don't know what all else will work, because I do have some 2J stuff here. If it's the same as, like, let's say a 90s model 2JZ, I probably have the plug and the mass airflow itself, so I'll have to see. If so, I've got one of those. And make sure I have a belt for the one for when I take the air conditioner off, to see if it's long enough or too short, too long, whatever. But I got a new belt. I can't remember if I ordered it for 2J for with an AC or without, and if it's without, will it fit the 1J as well? So I'm going to try to put that on today. That'll let me know that for sure. I actually have that. And then I'm going to have to pull these fuel lines off, and going to have to go have some cut the length that I need. I can go to the local parts store and get just standard fuel line. That's all I'm going to need right now. I can always put some heat shield around it because it's on the exhaust side. But I'm going to make it long enough to where the exhaust shouldn't be just right on top of it, but that way I can wrap it with some heat tape or something, maybe later or something. But all right, here we go.
I'm fading.